good, brother?
Hey everyone, my name is Matt Rudolph. I'm a junior board member here at the Institute, the Ocean Institute. I just wanted to welcome everybody who's here with us in person. Thank you so much for being here. For people streaming with us around the world, thank you for joining us for the Maritime Festival 2020. I also want to extend some thanks to Michael and Toshiba, our sponsors for the weekend. I wanted to say thank you to Wendy Marshall, our fearless leader, and Goldenbacher, the director of maritime programs here at the Ocean Institute, for their leadership, especially through the last 6 months. Dan is a softball buddy of mine, and in January probably asked me to join the junior board here. I work in the nonprofit space and growth and revenue strategy, and so it was a nice fit for me, but nobody really knew at that time what the next 6 months were really going to look like with the global pandemic and having to close down the Ocean Institute and our tall ship, the Pilgrim, going down shortly thereafter. We've been scrambling and trying to be creative to keep afloat. Pardon the pun, but it's been an honor to be a part of all this. I've lived in the area now for 13 years and fallen in love with the ocean. I have young children now, and even though my oldest is only 6, we've found a way to take advantage of everything that the Ocean Institute offers, coming to events, coming to see the exhibits, doing tide pool hikes. And the biggest reason I joined the Ocean Institute is just I want to have my children grow up here and take advantage of everything that we're doing, summer camps, the Girls in Ocean Science program, and just the amazing programs that our community has to offer. Actually, I think it was one of those tide pool hikes not too long ago that my daughter invited her preschool friend Cecilia to come along with us, and that's when we met her family and her dad, Andrew, who turns out is a certified rock star and a local product. Good dude, so we're really excited and thankful to have him here. Before we bring Andrew out, I just wanted to encourage everybody online to sign in to the Global Guest Book from the Maritime-themed.com website. And if you're enjoying the show, please donate as well. It goes a long way to helping us do what we do. So thank you again, everybody, for being here. And without further ado, Andrew.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is the first time I've been officially in front of people in a while, and it's nice to see your faces. So we'll start with a sing-along. I know some of you know my music here, so we'll let you take over through your masks or whatever. I met up with an acrobat, Brooklyn or some place like that. Life in taxis flying past, tore that dance all down. That's good. We're gonna get it. It's gonna get better. I can already tell. Pocket change and subway cars, and big ideas fill empty bars. You might be from the moon or Mars. Either way, I'm never going home. So let's hang an anchor from the sun. There's a million city lights but you're number one. You're the reason I'm still up at dawn. Just to see your face, we'll be going strong with the vampires, baby. We belong away, swinging from the fire escape. Whoa, 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 I was drinking from the wishing well, some junky metalhead hotel. We bought in the carousel, the roof was caving in. Whoa, 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 whoa. And on the stage, my oxblood friend was singing songs about the end. The anchors and the lions down, traveling lines like beggars in the snow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So the lights hang an anchor from the sun. There's a million city lights, but you're number one. You're the reason I'm still up at dawn. Just to see your face, we'll be going strong with the vampires, baby. We belong away, swinging from the fire escape. Swinging from the fire escape. Swinging from the fire escape. Walking on your hand in mine, tattoos on the river line. Morning birds are taking flight. Either way, I thought that you should know. You're my number one. You're the reason I'm still up at dawn. Just to see your face, we'll be going strong with the vampires, baby. We belong awake. You're my number one. You're the reason I'm still up at dawn. Just to see your face, we'll be going strong with the vampires, baby. We belong away, swinging from the fire escape. 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 It's so good to be here. Thank you, Matt, for that beautiful introduction. You know, I grew up just up the hill, right here. I worked at my mom's hotel, the Blue Lantern Inn, just up the hill there, looking down on this space before it was built when I was a kid in the mid-90s. And right over there on the island is a place where in the middle of making the first Jack's Mannequin record, actually created like my little outpost. Anytime I would finish a song and felt excited about it, I wouldn't know if I liked it until I parked my car on the island, pointing out to the Pacific Ocean and cranked it up, and freaked whoever was walking out, freaked them out, and that's how I sort of listened to my music and figured out whether or not I wanted people to hear it. So I figured I would do an old Jack's Mannequin tune off of Everything Transit, which turned 15 this past summer, along with my immune system, actually, but I'll explain that later. So this one's called a mixtape. This is morning, it's when I spend the most time thinking about what I've given up. Still a warning, when you start the day just to close the curtains, you're thinking about what I've given up. Where are you now? As I'm swimming through your stereo, I'm writing you a symphony of sound. Where are you now? As I rearrange a song songs again. This makes good, but I'll hold in anyone. It's you I was thinking of. It's you I was thinking of. So I read your letter. When you left, when you broke into my house, I've been tracing every step you made. And you said you met him. He's gonna donate to the Ocean Institute after this. I know for sure. There's a piece of me in every single, the second of every single day. But if it's true, then tell me how we got this way. Where are you now? I'm swimming through your stereo. I'm writing you a symphony of sound. Where are you now? There's a real range of songs again. This makes good, but I'm holding anyone. It was you I was thinking of. I can't get to you. I can't get to you. I can't get to you. You. Where are you now? I'm swimming through your stereo. I'll conduct a symphony of sound. Where are you now? As I'm cutting through your track by track, I swear to God, this makes good take the sun. It's you I was thinking of. It's you I was thinking of. Yeah. And where are you now? Where are you now? Yeah, this is my mixtape for her. It's like a room, never read note with my own fingers. Thank you. The mixtape was for her. So the next tune I'm going to do, I tried like as best I could to pepper in songs that felt like a part of my history in Dana Point and that my timing to this place, because I do feel tied to this place. And one of the most pivotal sort of moments in my life was I grew up sort of as a nomad. My father was in retail, so we moved constantly. He was always opening new stores, and so I was in a new school every 2 or 3 years. And finally, I guess in my 7th grade year, we moved from Ohio to California, and it was like a revelation. Although I didn't make it to Dana Point just yet, I had a pit stop in Huntington Beach, which God bless Huntington Beach. But when we got to Dana Point, it was the first time in my life that I felt like I was home. You know, as somebody who grew up moving from place to place to place, we moved onto Santa Clara Street. You could literally see like the moneyed houses were on the other side of the street. We were on the opposite side of the street, but it was just like the most magical place to be. And I remember just that sense, like as a kid who had traveled so much, waking up one day and be like, this is home, you know, and this is where I belong. And me and my wife, we've moved around a little bit since then, but we managed to find our way back here because this is home for us. So I figured I'd tell the story of how I got here tonight, and it's a song called Ohio. They've heard it. Raises it, the first sign of light, the car was back, and the house was quiet, the sister slept. As we started the drive to California, where it's warmer, gonna start a new life, gonna miss Ohio. but this time I'm gonna get it right. Station wagon, tigers flying, kitties counting crows through the tears in the eyes. State lines and capitals go rushing by as I'm trying to find a station on the radio. Everything's gonna be better on the West Coast. You switch the next the days move fast on the northern plains, and I read the maps as the prairie grass moved in the wind like waves, and we can't look back. Some man, you just can't say we had our reasons for leaving. It's better this way. Gonna miss Ohio, but I'm not gonna miss the rain. Station wagon, tigers flying, kitties counting crows through the tears in her eyes. Steel lines and capitals rushing by as I'm trying to find a station on the radio. Everything's gonna be better on the West Coast. Better than the best that we left back home in Ohio. Ohio. Goodbye, blue house. Goodbye, red door. Abandoned worlds with drink on your face. It's magnets pulling from the ocean floor. I can't forget the way you looked till we were leaving. The tires flying, kitties counting crows through the tears in her blue eyes. State lines and capitals go rushing by as I'm trying to find a station on the radio. Everything's gonna be better on the West Coast. Better than the best that we left back home in Ohio. Ohio. Thank you. So like truthfully, in the time of COVID, anytime I play a show that might be seen by human beings, like I've done a bunch of these live streams just from my garage. We've done some of these drive-in shows, and I try my best when they're like broadcast, which is my understanding it's making its way out there to like chip away at my catalog, because there's a lot of songs that I don't ever play, and so of course this is gonna be bad, but so there's a song called Black and White Movies off like the first Wilderness record, which rarely, if ever, gets played other than like the tour that I did supporting that record. But that whole album was sort of a part of my wife and I coming back to this area. We had lived in LA for a while, and so I started kind of working through material and reconnecting to this place. And so I thought how appropriate to attempt to do a song I haven't played in, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, but we'll see what happens. It's called Black and White Movies. As the summer came, left with the rain, pushing shadows down the road. In this old beach town, when the sun goes down, all the grays turn into gold. Got no plans, just a feeling. I'm no architect at all. There's a fan on the ceiling and a telephone that you should call. Are you home tonight? Are you laying in bed watching black and white movies all alone tonight? Do you ever rewind to the song that you knew me? Black and white movies. You were out at dawn with a wetsuit on, that's a picture in my mind. Now the waves still crash on the bonfire ash that the tourists leave behind. Waves of sound, waves of static through the windows in my room. And the seeds that you planted in a coffee cup that never bloomed. Are you home tonight? Are you laying in bed watching black and white movies all alone tonight? Do you ever rewind to the summer you knew me? Black and white movies. Are you home tonight? Are you home tonight? Are you home tonight? Are you laying in bed watching black and white movies all alone tonight? Do you ever rewind to the summer that you knew me? Black and white movie. I started my first band out of Dane Hills High School. We formed my junior year of high school. It is crazy to me to think that something that I did my junior year of high school turned into a thing that I did all over for a while. But it was this remarkable and bizarre and beautiful experience, and so I thought I'd do a little something corporate too for you guys. Well, I woke up in New York City from my sleep behind the wheel. I caught a train to Poughkeepsie. Time stood still. How you guys doing? She wrote me a letter from San Diego to qualify her love. San Diego represent. These flights connect to Arizona. Arizona represent. I think I'll stay stuck. I said, here I am. I said, here I am. Whoa. Well, I woke up in a car. I chased away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost. I've never felt so much at home. Please don't write my folks and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. So I met a girl kept tattoos for homes that she had loved. If I were, I'd paint my body till all my skin was gone. She wrote me a letter as we passed through Rockford. She said she won't forget. Maybe I do, and maybe I don't, but I know I have any yet. So here I am. So here I am. Oh, well, I woke up in a car, chased away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost, never felt so much at home. Deserted my folks and threw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. And maybe I could live forever if not ever I had known that you'd be waiting there whenever I am all alone. So here I am. Whoa. Well, I woke up in a car. I traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost. I've never felt so much at home. Please write my folks and throw away my keys. Well, I woke up in a car and traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost. I've never felt so much at home. Please write my folks and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. Woke up in a car. Woke up in a car. So, despite the fact that I'm liable to really tax my falsetto, which is not a wonderful place in my vocal range, I was like, well, I need to come up with some maritime material because, you know, this is the Maritime Fest, you know. And so I have a couple songs that reference boats. So I was like, what are those songs? Let's talk about boats for a little bit here. And there happens to be a boat song on my last record called This Wild Ride, which is really one of my favorite jams on Upside Down Flowers. You know, you guys can sing the high notes for it. Sleep tight, I will come to your defense. Whatever road you're taking tonight, yeah, I know nothing's making sense. Oh God, the room you wake in. Close your eyes, follow the sound, my voice, 'cause I'm gonna say, you are the boat on the ocean that rocks you to sleep. You're the balloon of the ballast attached to the string. You're in too deep. high on this wire, this wire ride. Sleep tight. There are dreams you have not dreamed, and doors to worlds wide open. Don't fight. Some questions aren't worth answering. Some hearts that break are broken. Tonight, follow the sound of my voice, cause I'm gonna say, you are the bird out the ocean that rocks you to sleep. You're the balloon of the ballast attached to the string. You're in too deep. You climb too high. This wire ride. Yeah, this wire ride. I don't know what you'll find. This wire ride. Hey, it feels good to feel normal for a second, right? I mean, even if you're watching a concert, like sort of from behind a cage of sorts, it does. It feels good to be here. Thank you guys so much. Love y'all. All right, let's sing. Okay. My heart is an apartment building on the verge. A testament to days. The market shifts can cause storm systems to convert. So all your high-rise dreams seem unrealistic. I wanna keep the lights on. I could raise the rents and resurface the pool. Yeah, I could take the banks on, repay all my debts, get my ass back to school. But our great buildings will survive. Strong minds and concrete stay alive. Through the Great Depressions, yeah, the best things are designed to stand the test of time. Brick and plastic beams and broken windows. Shadows pass on sidewalks, cracking to the curb. I wanna keep the lights on, repair the foundation, maybe hire a crew. Plant a little garden, start the renovations, get my ass back to you. Love and great buildings will survive. Strong hearts and concrete stay alive. Through the Great Depression, yeah, the best things are designed to stand the test of time. So so all angry buildings will smile. Strong hearts and concrete stay alive. Through the great depressions, yet the best things are designed to stand the test of time. Love and great buildings will endure. Blue skies and bloodlines are the cure for the great deceptions in a world that's such a blur. Will stand the test of time. Will stand the test of time. Will stand the test of time. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, I mean that song for me, like it is sort of this idea that good love can make it through anything, right? And I think like that is being tested in such a crazy way right now for all of us. Like, and I've been so fortunate to have like an amazing family and like a close knit circle. So many of you are in this space tonight, and also so many incredible fans and supporters who somehow like made it possible for me to like still make a living in the middle of this crazy madness that we're in. And I know that we've got some doctors in the audience tonight. Yeah, we've got firefighter in the audience tonight. I mean, we have first responders and psychologists and I mean people we are all like just trying to make our way through this madness, and my heart goes out to all of you and to anybody who's watching who's had to struggle through this craziness. You know, I wrote this song on the other side of being like when I was a cancer survivor and no longer a cancer patient, you know, and I think in a weird way, being sick has sort of trained me towards this moment that we're in, you know, like where I'm fortunate to have gone through something sort of so painful and crazy that when the pandemic happened, it was like, okay, we got to batten down the hatches again, you know, and that was 15 years ago. I'm 15 years a survivor, thanks to my sister who was donor for me. But it's wild 15 years later to be in the middle of this thing that we're all in. I send this song out with love to anybody who's struggling, because they found me in a place where I was really struggling. And so I'm gonna sing this one for you. It's called Swim. You gotta swim for your life. Swim for the music that saves you when you're not so sure you'll survive. You gotta swim when it hurts. The whole world is watching. You haven't come this far to fall off the earth. Currents will pull you away from your own love. Just keep your head above. I found a tidal wave begging to tear down the door. Memories like bullets, they fired at me from a gun. A crack in the armor, I swim for brighter days despite the absence of sun. Choking on salt water, I'm not giving You gotta swim, the nights you won't end. You swim for your families, your lovers, your sisters, your brothers, your friends. You gotta swim for wars without cause. Yeah, we swim for these lost politicians. They don't see the greed as a flaw. The currents will pull you away from your love. Just keep your head above. I found a tidal wave begging to tear down the door. Memories like bullets, they fired at me from a gun. A crack in the armor, I swim for brighter days despite the absence of sun. Choking on salt water, I'm not giving in. I'm not giving in. 'Cause I swear. You gotta swear to end in the dark. There's no shame in drifting, feeling tide shifting, wait for the spark. You gotta swim, but don't let yourself sink. You just find the horizon. I promise you it's not as far as you think. The currents will pull you away from your love. Just keep your head above. Just keep your head above, swim. Just keep your head above, swim. Swim. Just keep your head above, swim. Those are my people over there. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
They're like, I told her there was a dance party moment that's going to happen at some point. But in their minds, like time has collapsed and the dance party is like right about to happen. But it's like we're only partway through the set, y'all. We'll get there, though, I promise. Okay, so this song I always joke because the beauty of being a songwriter is that you can like sort of rewrite yourself as a much cooler character. And so in this song, I position myself as somebody who's riding like a motorcycle way too fast down the highway. When really I was riding a Vespa scooter well under the speed limit. But you know, I still had to pretend to be Springsteen at some point in the middle of this song. Took the train home, facing backwards. Another hopeless chase. Echo Park, Indian summer. Wrote a new song about your new life. Like stab side retrace, block letters in your little black notebook. Yeah. Flashbacks get me close. I'm almost there. Headlight in the driveway. You stand in the window waiting. The stars are out tonight. 1 million fires burning out there on the high line. You dance with your headphones on tonight. Watch you all night long. Dance dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's light jacket, motorbike. I'll pass the mission in the moonlight. Teenagers in the alley kissing. I smell the gas burn, saw your street sign. I'm doing 80 and a 45. I'm not even close. It's like 35 and a 50 for sure. Throwing shadows you can hear if you listen. Yeah, that's my spring segment, okay. Flashbacks get me close. I'm almost there. Headlight in the driveway. You stand in the window waiting. The stars are out tonight. 1 million fires burning out there on the high dive. You dance with your headphones on tonight. And watch you all night long, dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's. Oh, oh, oh. Flashbacks get me close. I'm staring at someone else's headlights in your driveway. You stand in the window waiting. The stars are out tonight. 1 million fires burning. Meet me on the high dive. You'll dance with your headphones on so I watch you all night long, dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's song. Oh, dancing to someone else's song. To someone else's song. To someone else's song. To someone else's, someone else's, someone else's song. Thank you. I always like when like a secondary audience arrives. It's a beautiful thing. That means a lot to me. So I started surfing last year, which is crazy. But you know, when you are, I was an awkward child. I'll just say that. When I got to Southern California, it was not like, get me in the water, I'm ready to surf. You know, everybody had already learned how to skateboard and how to surf. Like I could ride a bicycle, so I traded my mountain bike for a BMX, and that was like how I got myself to fit in for a while. And I always envied the surfers because I was just like, God, that looks amazing. And last summer, I came home from a tour, and I was home in California for the first time since I was like in high school. And I said, if I'm ever going to learn how to surf, it's this summer. You know, like I was just in the position to do it. And so like I got a coach because I was like, there's no way I'm going to actually learn how to do this on my own. This is like, if I know anything about myself, like I'm going to have to pay somebody for like 6 months to just like beat on me to actually get me to commit to anything. And so I did that. And, it changed my life. Like it absolutely, I've never been a morning person. I wake up at 4:50 at least 3 days a week and get my butt down to San Onofre so that I can try and surf with as few people in the water just so I don't kill anybody. And so like along the way, you know, if you I'm sure there's surfers in the audience here, I imagine. And there's just so many parallels between surfing and life. I've found, you know, like, and they're so apparent when you start, where it's just like, you know, today is going to provide for you what today provides for you, right? Like when you get in the water, like you might want there to be really good clean waves, and there might not be, and it really just sort of trained me on like this thing that you know is life. And I managed to like write a bunch of songs about surfing, and then the pandemic happened, and I didn't put them out. But I put this one song out that was informed by my experience getting in the water, called "Get on My Wave." So we'll see how this goes. Woke up late today. Lay there for an hour or two, looking at the whole wide world, wondering about a spaceman. Made a cup of coffee. If you were here, I would have made two. Painted both hands blue, so I could blend in with the sky. Now the coast is on fire. Drinking in the day, got a shack out by the water. I walk to everything. When the moon climbs, I listen for the fights in the alley. Get on my way, get on my way. 'Cause the sun don't shine when you're not mine. It's hard to keep writing. Get on my way. Get on my way, 'cause the sun don't shine when you're not mine. It's hard to keep writing. I get overwhelmed, paddling out into the rising tide. I rode the whole wide world, and I was just in space, man. Now you're everywhere. And I would like to be there too. So I paint myself green, hoping I could be your sky. Now the coast is on fire, we're drinking in the day. Got a shack out by the water, we want everything. When the moon climbs, we listen for the fights in the eye. Get on my way, get on my way. 'Cause the sun don't shine when you're not mine. It's hard to keep writing. Get on my way, get on my way. 'Cause the sun don't shine when you're not mine. It's hard to keep writing. Get on my way, get on my way. 'Cause the sun don't shine when you're not mine. It's hard to keep writing. Get on my way, get on my way. 'Cause the sun don't shine when you're not mine. It's hard to keep writing.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I got time for a couple more. I have no idea. Yes, okay.
Yes.
Let's do that. This is a perfect time of night for this song, so we'll do this. Oh.
You got backup
Is
singers.
that Rory? Oh, Rory's my buddy. So I had this dream in the middle of making everything in transit. For those of you who have followed my thing, whatever this is that I'm doing here, you know, my wife and I, who have been married for almost 14 years now, right? It's crazy. But we have been dating for have been together for almost 20. We had this moment where I was a real idiot, as they say. and we weren't together for a little bit in there, and I wrote this record, Everything in Transit, in the middle of all of that. And it was me charting my idiocy through a series of months. And then this dream kept happening where there was like a tidal wave coming on the coast, and I was being drawn out into the middle of the ocean, but there was somebody in the middle of that ocean. I mean, that even in all the turmoil and all of that craziness, there she was. And so I wrote this song. I wrote this song over the course of several weeks, and finally like got into the studio, and it was the last song recorded for Everything in Transit. And it was the thing, in a weird way, I think it just sort of, I mean, Kelly will have a different perspective on this for sure, but to me, in my creative brain, it was my way of writing us back together, you know. And then she saw me through just a calamity of epic proportions that was bigger than a tidal wave in some ways, but it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written, and according to Spotify, it's one of your favorite songs too. I have you breathing down my neck. I don't know what you can possibly expect under this condition. So I'll wait for the ambulance to come, because I'm off the floor. What did you possibly expect under this condition? So slow down. This night's a perfect shade of dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room alone? Here with you, so the world could be burning down. Dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room alone? Here with you, I see the world could be burning to this nothing but dark blue, just dark blue. And this flood slowly rises up, swallowing the ground beneath my feet. Tell me how anybody thinks of this condition. So I'll swim. The water rises up, sun is sinking down, and now all I can see are the planets in a row, suggesting it's best that I slow down. This night's a perfect shade of dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room alone? Here with you, yeah, the world could be burning down. Dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room alone? Here with you, yeah, the world could be burning dark blue. We were boxing the stars. We were boxing, and you were swinging from Mars, and the one reached the West Coast. It's the power lines, and it was me and you, and the whole town underwater. There was nothing we could do. And it was dark blue. Dark blue. Have you ever The world could be burning up, burning down, dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room? Well, I'm here with you. Yeah, the world could be burning till there's nothing but dark blue. If you've ever been alone, you'll know you're my dark blue. If you've ever been alone, you'll know, you'll know. So, are all your buddies ready? You guys want to do dance party?
Dance party.
Yeah.
Mama needs a dance party.
So I will be the first to admit I never thought I would be a person with a child. Let alone a person with a child who had many other children who I'm very, very fond of. You just come over. You guys are fine. Come on, hang out. This is Cecilia here. These are her buddies. We got Rory, Clammy, George, and Mila. The dance party will commence shortly. I'm going to spare Cecilia the story of her conception. My parents never spared me that story, surprisingly. But this one, I wrote this for her before she was born, surprisingly. And then once we named her, I finished the song. And hysterically, in a career up to that point that had spanned, I think, 15 or 16 years, I never had a hit song, ever. And it took bringing this person into the world for all that to come together. So this one's for my good luck charm and for all her buddies who have just been so resilient and amazing in the middle of this madness. It's such, if you want to look to some serious, I'm not going to do it, but just to some tough, amazing human beings, you look to the kids who have gone through this thing and just how amazing they have. I'm very fortunate to know all these. So all these wonderful people. So this one's called Cecilia and the Satellite. Thank you guys so much for supporting the tonight. Thank you. It's like thanks to our our pirates, literal pirates on the other side of the fence over there. And y'all stay safe. I look forward to doing this again sometime real soon. You guys ready to party? Locked myself in a hotel room and waited all night for the walls to move. I've loved some girls that I barely knew. Made some friends that I lost some too. Crashed my car, I was 17. Mother in the seat riding next to me. The things I've learned from a broken mirror. Your face can change when a heart knows fear. For all the things my eyes have seen, the best by far is you. If I could fly, then I would know. Life looks like from up above and down below. To keep you safe, I can't picture life. Don't be afraid, Cecilia, I'm the satellite. You guys gonna sing it with me? You're the sky. Cafe crawled through Amsterdam. Been around the world with a punk rock band. And I seen London and I played Japan. I've been back down, I got up again. all the places I have been, I'm no place without you. If I could fly, then I would know life looks like from up above and down below. I'd keep you safe, I'd keep you dry. Don't be afraid, Cecilia, I'm the satellite. And you're the sky. Here we go. Oh, I'm the for all the things my hands have held, the best by far is you. If I could fly, then I would know life looks like from up above and down below. I keep you safe, I keep you dry. Don't be afraid, Cecilia, I'm the satellite. And you're the sky. Oh, you're the sky. Thank you guys for being tonight's night. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful night. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Support these amazing, amazing people who are managing to make it work in the middle of all this craziness. Love you.
You're rocking it. Thank you.